complete monuments of Gothic architecture. Through the archway ahead are the famous gallerias, a favorite rendezvous for strollers and coffee drinkers.
Milan, Italy. The heart of the city is the Piazza del Duomo, with a magnificent marble cathedral, one of the largest and most complete monuments of Gothic architecture. Through the archway ahead are the famous gallerias, a favorite rendezvous for strollers and coffee drinkers. La Scala Opera House, where some of the finest musicians have performed. Enrico Caruso, Theodore Scigliatti, Maestro Toscanini, to mention a few illustrious names. Giuseppe Verdi, Mr. Opera himself, lived and died in Milan. His will provided for this spacious home as a haven for retired musicians. The majestic Sforza Castle looms over the city as a reminder of Milano's turbulent history during the periods of Spanish, French, and Austrian domination. The ominous Sforza family crest, over an archway leading into the immense inner courtyard that could easily accommodate an entire army. Gigantic fortified structures with their moats and drawbridges tell of Milano's might in medieval times. But since we live in the electronic age, we better head for the depot to board our train, the Vesuvius Express, one of the world's most modern super streamliners. Now, wait a minute. There must be a mistake. We better get this straightened out.
Rapido per Napoli dal binario 2. Siamo pronti, parti rapido.
Well, this is more like it. From the cavernous Milano station emerges one of the world's fastest trains, the Vesuvius Express. Built by the Italian State Railways, the ETR 300 is a rolling example of the very latest in streamlined railroad design. Propelled by 18 electric motors with an output of 4,500 horsepower, it makes the other trains look old-fashioned. For passenger comfort, the last word in interior design. Has all the power he needs, and then some to spare. The Italian people are proud of their new train. They have affectionately nicknamed it Il Sette Bello, the Beautiful Seven. That's the top card in a popular Italian game. Sitting in the observation car at the very front is like riding with the engineer on top. You get a thrilling sensation of really moving along, bound for Florence, Rome, and Naples, a 550-mile hop. Here's a helpful fellow who gives out with a running commentary about the landmarks we pass. Picturesque landscapes that date back to ancient civilization. Luxuriously appointed bar on wheels provides refreshments for anyone who cares before pulling into the Florence station. Fabulous Firenze, the city of flowers. Like no other city in the world, Florence enjoys a unique artistic heritage as it keeps pace with the modern world. Although we have to admit, The design of the big box camera is slightly behind the times. Picture postcard, Signora? No, thank you. Perfectly respectable postcard, Signore. Business is slow today. The facade of the Florence Cathedral, delicately blended in multicolored marble of green, black, white, and rose. It took 140 years to complete it. The huge bronze door dwarfs the people. But for some innocent passerby, our camera is more fascinating. Here are the time-honored Uffizi art galleries and the towering Palazzo Vecchio, the market square and main drag, the Piazza della Signoria. Romantic old Florence would have to be adorned with some of the finest sculptures. The Church of the Holy Cross is the last resting place for Michelangelo, Galileo, Machiavelli, and Dante, the great Italian poet. The statue is a monument to the immortal Dante. This ancient bridge over the Arno River catches the attention of every tourist. Not a mere span over water, this bridge lives and breathes. With its row of shops selling jewelry, fine leather goods, and embroidered linen and lace. All of the approaches to this historic old bridge were destroyed during World War II. But Il Ponte Vecchio was left standing. It's the oldest bridge in Florence and still one of the busiest. With only a 6-minute stopover in Florence, we have to bid a hurried farewell to the beautiful city of flowers and make a mad dash for the train. It's a 3-hour ride to Rome. Plenty of time for a wonderful Italian dinner. And to go strictly native, some traditional Italian salami. The train announcer reads news bulletins and gives tourist information in 4 different languages. Dinner without spaghetti is like a train without a track, but there are miles and miles of both. From this angle, the Vesuvius Express suggests a toy train as it turns the Roman landscape into a living panorama. Down to show our respect to a city 3,000 years old. Caesar would never have believed it. The nerve center of Rome's newly built station brings in the Vesuvius Express. A modern network that electrically opens and closes every switch as the super train winds its way in through a maze of tangled tracks. Rome, the eternal city, capital of Italy. St. Peter's of the Vatican City, the largest and most majestic of Christian cathedrals. But even on hallowed grounds, a horse has got to put on the feed bag. People are the same the world over. They all want the answer to the big international question, how are the fish biting today? The Castle of San Angelo, a mausoleum begun by Hadrian in the 1st century, a challenge to any painter. High up, the Church of the Trinity, with a magnificent flight of stairs leading down to the Spanish Square. the traditional flower markets at the bottom. The heart of ancient Rome, the classical Roman Forum. It was twice devastated by fire. An earthquake took care of the rest. The triumphal arch of Constantine and the Colosseum, symbolic of a once powerful empire. In leaving Rome, we pass Moses, serenely guarding his corner as the old and the new come and go. Time's up, so we pick up our train and plenty of speed. Napoli, here we come. Enchanted city on the beautiful Bay of Naples. A city immortalized in prose and song. With the mighty Vesuvius in the background, we see the romantic harbor of Santa Lucia. The futuristic maritime building is a contrast to the past and a natural target for camera addicts. Seeing how people live in foreign countries is a lot of fun. And the Neapolitan street scene is fascinating. Aside from the beauty of Napoli, she delights the visitor with her gay, exuberant carnival spirit, a whirling Ferris wheel in the shadow of the old Anjou castle. Some of the sights almost step out of the pages of our geography books. There's our final goal, the most famous volcano in the world, Mount Vesuvius. Beautiful to look at, but with a record of 50 eruptions, some of them disastrous. One of the first on record in 79 AD, completely buried under a field of ashes, the flourishing town of Pompeii. To reach the top, we drive up a winding road through acres of lava. Past eruptions seem to warn us it could happen again. The observatory on the left keeps a constant check on the pulse and blood pressure of the old boy. Pick your favorite language for the last leg of our Vesuvius Express. Now hold your breath. Here we go on a nerve-tingling ride in a modern chairlift. In 1944, when Vesuvius blew his top, an ocean of hot lava crushed and cremated the old cog railroad that ran up the mountainside. This may be the slowest leg of the Vesuvius Express, but it certainly makes up for it an exhilaration of being airborne. Just a few more steps, and you're standing on the very edge of the crater. The bewildering spectacle of the forbidding chasm. A jagged-toothed monster simmering before the next great eruption. When will it happen again? That's the one big question every tourist wants to know. Careful now, girls. Don't wake him up, please. They say he sleeps no more than a few years at a time. Based upon past records, and if my finger arithmetic is correct, it would seem that the time is just about right. But who can tell? Well, we've traveled fast and far, and we've seen a lot in just a brief span of time. We've seen it painted in magnificent cinemascope, majestic scenes in thrilling detail. The Italian landscape, a masterpiece of the old world and the new.